again, everybody. I'm Snapper Lancaster, welcoming you to another edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. Well, we reached the halfway point of the football and volleyball season and cross-country season for our young athletes here in the state of Alabama and the Birmingham-Jefferson County area in particular. As we talk about each and every week, we've got a lot of high schools represented from the Birmingham area, and they're closing in on their playoffs. And now, as the old saying goes, these games they're playing, they're jockeying for position. The Hewitt-Trussville Huskies remain undefeated in Class 7A, and right now their team, along with the Hoover Bucks, seem to be the class of the Birmingham area. So we look forward to what might lie in store, especially as playoff time gets nearer. But a lot of exciting football left, and as the old saying, the best is yet to come. Folks, I want to tell you about, once again, a new sponsor that we have on our program, and we're awfully glad. We've been affiliated with them on and off, and we've got them back on with us, and we're talking about Andrews Sports Medicine. They're the world-renowned sports medicine physicians and orthopedic surgeons there at Andrews Sports Medicine Orthopedic Center. They bring decades of experience and dedicated research in their respective fields. They are highly trained orthopedic specialists providing the most advanced sports medicine available in the United States. This group is well known for being the official sports medicine providers for the Alabama Crimson Tide, Auburn Tigers, Jacksonville State Gamecocks, Sanford Bulldogs, and dozens of high school programs in the central Alabama area. However, they are also available to provide folks such as us, you and me, who have an athletic mindset, the experts that is, but also the real experts at Andrews Sports Medicine aggressively pursue victory over every injury. Go to andrewsportsmedicine.com to start making your comeback today. And we'll be right back, folks.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
And folks, welcome back. And our first guest of the evening is an outstanding coach, has had an outstanding career thus far, and inherited a team that was a pretty good team, and it's almost like they haven't skipped a beat. And of course, we're talking about Josh Wright of the Bessemer Academy Rebels. And Josh, always good to see you.
It's good to be here.
As we start this interview, for people that may not be familiar with you and your background, tell us what has led you to be the head coach there at Bessemer Academy.
My dad was a high school coach, and my brothers, both my brothers are coaches, and coached GA'd a lot at Jacksonville State when I started out, and then went back and was assistant coach with my dad at Pickens Academy for a couple years, and then Coach Freeman hired me at Bessemer Academy, and when he left, I took over then, and it's been, I guess, 9 years. So
wow,
I've been fortunate to be around some great people, get to coach some great kids, a lot of talented kids, and it's been fulfilling for me, and our program is it's sustained pretty good so far.
You and I, we talked a few minutes on the telephone the other night, and one thing that stood out to me, talking about the challenges that awaited you there, and you knew a little bit about it, being an assistant coach, once you moved up into that head job, was the travel involved, and the school systems that
Right.
you guys are in, the private school system. I thought AISA.
Yes, sir.
And we got to talking a little bit about travel, and because I thought, boy, y'all have traveled a lot. He said, we don't even think about it because that's what it's all about.
Right.
Well, I know you beat a good team this past Friday night.
Right. Well, Lee Scott's well coached, great team. They're the biggest school in our association. They got about 900 students.
Wow.
And, you know, it came down to the, you know, last minute of the game. But you know, we traveled to Auburn. We've been to Albany, Georgia this year. We've been to Montgomery 3 times. I know last year we went to Emmett, Louisiana. So it's fun to get to see the different parts, but we're glad to be at home this week.
but I was going to say that those road trips are always not only interesting but enjoyable a lot for the
Right.
kids as well. But going into this year, Coach, you had a good year last year.
Right.
But going into this year, did you feel like that, 8 games into the season now? You're 7-1.
Yes, sir.
Did you feel like the team would do this well, or is this something you expected?
Well, we lost, you know, 27 seniors off our team last year. So, but we did have 5 or 6 really impactful players coming back, and we picked a few kids up, and then the ones that were there, you know, everybody matured, got stronger, and you know, it was time for their time to step up. So we're still growing. We are still waiting for our best game to hit, and we hope we get it in the next couple weeks. But it's one of those things where we always expect to win, but we're still growing.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about it too, and I think every coach has this philosophy. They want their teams to peak the closer
Right.
you get to the playoffs. But talking about your team, now let's talk a little bit about it. First of all, the 3 phases we'll talk about: offense, defense, and special teams. Give me some insight on your team from that perspective.
Well, I guess right now, starting out the season, defense has been we've got more experience there. We got more depth there. Our secondary's played great. We've had, I don't know how many interceptions this year, but really got it going. We have an athletic defensive line. Our linebacker group is probably our strength. And offensively, we've just kind of been, you know, we're a little different than last year. We have Blaine Smith, our quarterback, is more athletic. Logan was a great player for us last year that could, you know, and we had more depth last year at our skill position. This year we're really trying to. We've got a couple guys that can make some great plays, but it's just finding them ways to get the ball and waiting for some other guys to make that step forward. But our offensive line is growing together. The 2 guys I brought today, Aaron Scroggins and Gerald Luster, are a big part of that, our leaders up front. And special teams wise, I brought our snapper, Wes Davis, today because he has been great for 2 years. We hadn't had one bad snap. And Jay Fitch kicks extra points for us. Nick Perry's our holder. It's been a very consistent for us this year, except for this past week, but we won't go there. But, you know, we've got ways of improving all through it. I hope these next couple weeks we hit our peak, you know, and it's been a fun group to coach. It's fun seeing people get better every week because we got so many that hadn't had to be in the, you know, those spots, and we're still searching.
Well, unless I miss what you're telling me that game you lost maybe should have been a game you could have easily won.
No, I mean, we got beat, but we did some things that uncharacteristically we usually don't do.
Aren't you one of these coaches, though, that you believe that sometimes you learn more from losing?
Yes.
You gain those lessons that stick with you. Winning's easy. You
Right.
take it for granted, and then sometimes you lose the games. You don't know how the kids are going to react, but what you're hoping is they grow from it, and if they do, that'll make them a better person, better team from it.
Oh, exactly. I mean, you know, when you win, you grade your film, you look at it, you see the mistakes, but when you lose, they really get highlighted. Right. And you really, you know, it shouldn't be like that, but it's human nature, you know, to really showcase our weaknesses and, you know, and I hope we've learned from that. You know, we've still got a ways to go, but the mistakes that happened 2 weeks ago, you know, we got a lot better this week. They didn't happen again.
I know that the time gets away from us. One thing I wanted to hit on just a little bit was the fact you talk about that that the student body has been growing since you've been there. And so that helps in a lot of ways. Probably the biggest way, it gives you a chance to have more people that don't have to worry about going both ways, doesn't it? And that's always a help.
Well, that's what we're trying to develop. Last year we were fortunate where only one person really played both ways, and we didn't even have to do that. This year we've got about 6 or 7 people that have to go both ways, and it's really, you know, the bumps and bruises are starting to mount up, and we really need, you know, to get back healthy. We're a little banged up right now, to get to where we're playing our best, you know, hitting playoff time.
Well, I think, Coach, you make a good point. That's what you hope for, and I'm sure the team does too. And injuries, as much as we hate to say it, it's a part of it. And maybe if you get lucky, those kids will get back. It's been a great year so far. Hope it continues, because it looked like you're going to be playoff bound, and that's all you hope for. You get there, then you make something positive happen.
That's right.
Folks, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. 4 young athletes that have been very instrumental in the outstanding season Bessemer Academy's had thus far. We'll be right back.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gurdeau in Trussville today.
Land of Frost Premium is America's best-selling 1-pound deli pouch, now available in 12 delicious flavors, including new flavors of mesquite turkey and cotto salami. High school athletes across the country ask for Land of Frost by name. These great items are available at your local grocer, including Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, Western supermarkets, and many more. Land of Frost also makes other varieties of lunch meats, including deli shaved bistro and sub sandwich kits. Land of Frost is a proud sponsor of youth sports as well.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And folks, welcome back. As you can see, I got 4 outstanding young athletes up here and been very instrumental in the good season that they've had already. And of course, they're hoping for it to be bigger and better before it's over with. Sitting closest to me, Blaine Smith. Blaine, you're a senior in the quarterback,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And then Wes Davis, a junior, and you're the long snapper. I like your title. There's nothing bad about a snapper. Always remember that. Gerald Lester. Aaron, are you a senior? Okay. Well, then bless her heart. And he is the center, right? But junior, senior. Oh, my goodness, don't hit me now. But guys, so far, very good season. And we'll start with you, Blaine, going into this year. Now, were you you were the starting quarterback last year?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay.
I played receiver last year.
Okay.
Yes,
Now, that's one thing Coach and I have talked about in a smaller school. A lot of times you guys have to go both ways. So you've been playing a while, though.
Yes, sir.
But the quarterback this year, how's that transition been for you?
Just knowing everybody's job has been a big deal, you know, knowing what everybody does instead of just receiver. Because last year, mainly my job was just knowing what I had to do at receiver, but this year I have to know everybody's job.
Yeah, well, how would you describe yourself? Are you a drop back passer? Are you a scrambler, can run, an optional quarterback?
Yes, sir. I can do a little bit of both. I try to do what the script is, but sometimes I can improvise and make plays on my feet.
Would you rather be throwing or running, though?
Just whatever's working, I guess. If running's working, we'll do
you got
that.
a politician written
Yes,
all
sir.
over you. Now, Wes, a junior, right, and the long snapper.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, the most important part of your job is on punts, right?
Yes, sir.
Because I can't begin to tell you, I've been doing play-by-play for almost 20 years. I have seen a lot of messed up kickers, and it happened because the snapper couldn't get the ball back to him. So I guess you're sort of probably pretty proud of the fact that you do an important job for that team.
Yes, sir. It's pretty important, but I just try to do the best I can and make it faster every snap.
Do you play any other positions? Or
I play a little bit of wide receiver, but
really?
I mostly play long snapper.
But when it comes crunch time and they need to get that punt of the ball, you're the man, right? Okay. And then, of course, standing behind me here, Gerald Lester. Gerald, now, are you a two-way player or you just go one way?
I play both ways. I play nose guard and left tackle.
Well, now being a young athlete, not every athlete here in the Birmingham area has to travel as much as you guys do. They travel some, but none what I'd call a lot like y'all. Do you enjoy the traveling? You going to different places, or does it ever get old?
It's good, seeing all the talent out there and going to play different teams in different areas. But sometimes you kind of get tired of traveling.
Yeah. Well, how many years have you been there?
2 years.
2 years now. In those 2 years, was there a team from last year that this year you look forward to seeing them on the schedule? Or you just don't care? Just next up, you ready?
Next up.
Oh, okay. And then, of course, Aaron Scroggins, and Aaron, you're the center and a senior, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you play another position if you have to?
Wherever they need me, defensive, offensively,
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, and of course, when you play in a smaller school like y'all's, as Coach and I talked about, sometimes you're forced into being two-way players, or sometimes three-way. It doesn't matter. Wherever the coach says we need you, that's where you have to go. But you guys get used to that, don't you? All right. Another question I've always enjoyed asking athletes. Of course, we know you're athletically pretty good at players, or you wouldn't be playing football. And you got to be good in the classroom. And here's a simple reason for that. If you weren't academically good, you wouldn't be able to play, right? So I'm not interested in that because I know you do your work in the classroom. Here's what I am interested in. First time I've ever met you guys. What I want to know, is there a hobby or have you got something you enjoy doing that nobody else might know about it? Example, you might like, a big man like you might like writing poetry. And nobody would know that. You probably wouldn't tell if you did, though, right? But what I want to give you an example. You might like golf, you might like fishing, or something else. So, with that thought in mind, Wes, it surprised me if you told me.
I really enjoy golfing.
A golfer.
Yes,
now, do you hit it straight or far or both?
Far the wrong direction.
Yeah. Well, you just don't know what direction it's going in?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sometimes you hit it further that way than you do that way.
Yes, sir.
That's all right, but you enjoy it.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Now, Blaine, what little tidbit would I not know about you?
I play baseball pretty much year-round, yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir. I'm committed to play baseball at Sanford after high school. Yes, sir. I've pretty much played my whole life. That's what I mainly do.
Well, I hate to ask this because it almost seems like quarterback, pitcher. Are you a pitcher or what position?
Yes, sir. I play shortstop and pitch.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
so now, don't mean to put you on the spot.
Yes,
don't pretend coach it in there. Which sport do you like the best?
To be honest with you, I just like to compete. If I was 6'4", 200 pounds, I'd love to play quarterback in college, but it's just not the way it is, yes, sir.
When you run for
Yes,
office,
sir.
you're going to have a good
Yes,
chance
sir.
to get it. Okay, Gerald, what do I need to know about you that nobody else knows?
People don't know that I like to sing. My 9th grade year, I was in a choir.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Now, when you're at the choir, that automatically tells me that voice came out in church, right? But you might like rock and roll and pop or what, when Sundays are gone and Mondays come up, what kind of music you like? Is it still gospel?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's all right. You're cool. I bet nobody argues when you say you want to sing so-and-so, though, do they? How about you, Aaron?
I like to bowfish.
Really?
Yes, yeah.
Bowfish?
Yeah.
Like an Indian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There.
Have you ever shot one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not messing with you. If you said I hadn't hit one yet, I said, all right, no problem. I'll go with you sometime. But that's great. All right, guys, a lot of times people don't know this or athletes don't know it, but being a senior, Blaine, like you're going off to college, let's say you don't sign a pro baseball contract.
Yes, sir.
What do you think you might like to do one day?
I think I'd like to get into coaching and teaching and, coach a baseball or football team, like a high school team. I think I'd enjoy that.
Yeah, I talk with a lot of athletes, and it's surprising that you'd think almost every one of them say that they'd like to get into coaching, but it's really not that way. But I tell you what, I guess most coaches that really got into coaching, a lot of them, I've had a lot of them say that's the last thing from their mind. They end up being some of the most successful coaches in the business. Well, I hope that happens for you. Wes, how about you?
After college, I'd probably plan on being a pilot.
Being what?
A pilot.
A pilot?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, do you have any idea where you want to go to school?
I really want to go to the Naval Academy or Air Force Academy.
Yeah, to try to maybe make one of the branches of service.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A career.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How about you, Jared?
I plan on getting into construction.
Really?
Yes,
okay. So one day you'd like to build a subdivision.
Yes, sir.
Really? Well, good luck. I hope that works out for you. Aaron, how about you?
I was thinking along the lines of the teaching and coaching thing.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, and let me tell you, I talk all the time about this with these coaches. They have dual hats. They wear dual hats. One, they're always working to make you guys good at sports, and that's their passion. But also what their passion is preparing you guys for life after high school. That's what the coaches do. It's really more than one job. But guys, I know you've had a very successful year so far. Hope you get in the playoffs and do a lot of damage, okay? But one last question I want to ask you, and we'll start with you, Blaine. To this point in your life, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
Definitely my mother, yes, sir. She encouraged me to be my best every day and just do my, be beyond what I should be.
Well, good for you. How about you, Wes?
Probably both of my parents. They just pushed me to be better than what I could be. Just always push myself to be better than the day before.
Okay. Gerald?
My mom, she provides and she works really hard to do her job.
Well, good for you. And how about you, Aaron?
I would have to say my dad and Coach John specifically, and the coaching staff a lot at this school.
Okay. Well, good. Well, listen, guys, like I said, nice to meet y'all. You've had a great year thus far. Let's make it greater. Go out and win a title. If you win a title, we'll see if Coach come back up here and we'll celebrate together, okay? Yes, folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, another coach, more athletes. Don't you go away.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gurdeau in Trussville today.
And folks, welcome back. And as you can tell, I have another outstanding coach up here, but this time we got a different sport. It's volleyball, and we're talking about the head coach with the Chelsea Hornets. And Jessica, good to have you with us. Tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to be the coach there.
Thanks for having me. After high school, I played at the University of West Alabama for 4 years. After that, I immediately got a job and started the volleyball program at Otagoville School, stayed there for a year, and then was the assistant at Alexandria High School for 2 years. And me and my husband got married and moved to the Moody area, so I was looking for something that was a closer job, and the Chelsea job opened up. So this is my 4th year being there.
Okay, I didn't realize you'd been that long. Of course, we're talking about Jessica Pickett, and I guess you played volleyball probably in high school, I suppose. And so, was it always your desire to be a coach one day?
Yes, I guess about 8th grade is when I decided that I wanted to be a coach, and I actually focused on basketball a lot in high school. I started volleyball in the 9th grade and just fell in love with it.
Was it, did you get a scholarship out of high school playing volleyball?
Yes, sir. I got a scholarship at UWA.
And the reason I ask you that is because I've talked with a lot of female coaches through the years. I've been doing this show 17 years. And I've seen the volleyball programs pick up around the state. And one of the main reasons, of course, the girls are playing for a chance to get those scholarships as well. And now you're having more programs that young ladies are participating in. And like we said, this is an avenue for them to get those college scholarships as well. Right. Going into this year, and you said the 4th year?
Right.
Did you... your team has been a pretty good team this year.
Yes, sir.
And I know you've been ranked in the top 10 some. And is it one of those situations, I think what's your record,
36-6.
So 36-6, usually teams have peaks and valleys. That's not many valleys. It sounds like your team has been pretty steady all year. Talk a little bit about your team, the strong suits and maybe the weaknesses that y'all have had and are trying to overcome and to be the best you can be this year.
Right. We have 6 seniors, 12 players altogether. I also have 3 juniors and 3 sophomores. Those seniors, when I came in, they were freshmen. So the leadership is very strong this year. That's one of our strong things. We've been focusing on being mentally tough. And the few games that we have lost, we have had some mental lapses there, but I feel like every loss that we've had, the next practice, the girls come in to work and figure out what we need to do better, and I feel like that's why we haven't lost a lot this year.
When I tell you, and I talk with the sports with the guys like football, basketball, and baseball, whatever, but we have the young ladies sports too, and when I talk with the guys, I understand what I'm talking about when we say you hoping your team peaks at the right time. Well, that sort of goes along with your sport too. I mean, if your team this year has been really good. Mm-hmm. You've lost 6, so you have lost some, but it's been very good from the beginning to the end. But the point I'm getting to is your sport is like any other sport. You want your girls to be peaking the closer you get to playoffs, right?
Right, and our playoffs start next week, and I feel like we have been peaking and playing our best ball here lately, so that's exciting.
And one thing about it too, I want you to talk to me a little bit about your sport in particular and the changes and the evolution of it the last few years, because there are more and more young ladies becoming involved in female sports in particular, not just volleyball, but talk about your sport and how you've seen it change through the years since you were a player.
Well, kind of like you were saying, more girls are getting involved because it's becoming bigger on the college level. You see more volleyball on ESPN and those big stations. You see a lot of Olympic volleyball, so it's something the girls are getting interested in. And then the college scholarships are good opportunities for them to find ways to pay for scholarships, so that's nice. But as far as the level and the pace of volleyball for high school, it's gotten a lot faster. My first year playing as a 9th grader, that was the first year going away from rally scoring, and I don't know if you know a lot about that, right. But with rally scoring, you had to have the serve to score, so that made games a lot longer, and right. Now you can score from serve receive, so right. The games are quicker paced, but it's also a game where you have your ups and downs, and I tell the girls all the time, we're going to make mistakes. That's the game of volleyball. It's a game of errors, so it's really who makes the least amount of mistakes. So. And
I tell you something else that's happened through the years, and you've witnessed this as well. Girls are becoming more athletic. I mean, they're becoming quicker and stronger and faster, just like the guys are. And in that respect, they're making their sport even more enjoyable to watch, to see the physicality, for lack of a better word, to use for it, haven't you?
Right. Right, and our girls, they love the weightlifting part of it, the agility part. We jump a lot of boxes, so they know what it takes to get prepared and be at the physical standpoint they need to be. And
you know, back when you started playing many years ago, one of the things that you probably had were injuries that you might have avoided had you been physically more exercising through the years than just when you played volleyball or whatever.
Right.
A lot of the young ladies run track or cross country or whatever, that keep them more physically ready and active. With that thought in mind, though, tell me a little bit about from the school support that you've gotten from the community, from the parents, because that's awfully important from a coach.
Yeah, our parents and the school, they've been welcoming since me and my husband got here. We like I said, we got here 4 years ago. We've had a son, they welcome him and they treat him like he's their own. So that's a nice part about the Chelsea community. Everybody's welcoming, everybody supports you 100%. The fans at the games, they're awesome, the student body. So it's a nice atmosphere to be in.
Well, boy, the time flies, as the old saying goes, when you're having fun. But one question I want to ask you, and I don't mean to put you on the spot. It's going to sound like an on-the-spot question, but here you are, an outstanding young coach in volleyball in high school. Without saying something I shouldn't, do you have aspirations maybe of coaching college one day since you played college?
Yeah, I do, but when the time comes, that'll happen, so no rush.
Okay,
still young, so.
Now that's a good answer, Coach, because that means you've got either no years or a few years to get where you want to go, which is really the right way to look at it. But I guess the main thing I would ask you right now, do you feel really good about where your girls are as you right now get ready for the playoffs next week?
Yes, I'm excited, especially after this last weekend. We won our tournament at Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa. We are ranked number 10 currently, and they were actually ranked number 7, and we ended up beating them. So, like you said earlier, perfect time to be peaking right now, last week of the season, so hopefully we'll get some more big wins this week.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to have a couple of your young ladies up here in just a few moments. It's been awfully nice meeting you. And the one thing that I would like to say is in your coaching career, we'd love to get a chance to win those championships sooner than later. So no better time to start than this year, right?
I agree.
But Coach, awfully good to see you, and I wish you and your team the best of luck in the playoffs.
Thank you. Thanks
We're
for having
going to take a quick break, and when we come back, 2 young ladies that's been very inspirational in the success that the Hornets from Chelsea have had so far this season. We'll be right back.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
Folks, I want to tell you about, once again, a new sponsor that we have on our program, and we're awfully glad. We've been affiliated with them on and off, and we've got them back on with us, and we're talking about Andrews Sports Medicine. They're the world-renowned sports medicine physicians and orthopedic surgeons there at Andrews Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center. They bring decades of experience and dedicated research in their respective fields. They are highly trained orthopedic specialists providing the most advanced sports medicine available in the United States. This group is well known for being the official sports medicine providers for the Alabama Crimson Tide, Auburn Tigers, Jacksonville State Gamecocks, Sanford Bulldogs, and dozens of high school programs in the central Alabama area. However, they are also available to provide folks such as us, you and me, who have an athletic mindset, the experts that is, but also the real experts at Andrews Sports Medicine aggressively pursue victory over every injury. Go to andrewsportsmedicine.com to start making your comeback today. Land of Frost Premium is America's best-selling 1-pound Deli Pouch, now available in 12 delicious flavors, including new flavors of mesquite turkey and cotto salami. High school athletes across the country ask for Land of Frost by name. These great items are available at your local grocer, including Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, Western supermarkets, and many more. Land of Frost also makes other varieties of lunch meats, including deli shaved bistro and sub sandwich kits. Land of Frost is a proud sponsor of youth sports as well. And welcome back, folks. As you can tell, I got two outstanding and pretty young ladies up here, but they're athletes first. And of course, we're talking about volleyball players from Chelsea, and Sarah Prince, a senior libero, which is a defensive specialist, right? And then, of course, Jules Hamer, a sophomore, and you're a middle hitter, which means you're active on offense, right?
Yes,
You're
sir.
a very offensive player to be so pretty. Yeah. All right, but girls, first of all, and we'll start with you, Sarah, being a senior, going into this senior year, I knew you expect a lot out of yourself and out of your teammates. So describe the season you've had thus far. Are you pleased with it and hoping your best is yet to come, or can you be satisfied if it ended now?
I feel like there's no way to be satisfied with anywhere we are because we haven't made it to state yet. That's our ultimate goal. We're trying to make it to state, but we're 36-6 so far, and so that's really good. Like, we've accomplished a lot this season, but I feel like there's a lot more to come for us.
Well, I tell you what, I know the coach is glad to hear you talk like that, because that's exactly the way you should be feeling. And Jules, now you're a sophomore.
Yes, sir.
Did you play last year?
I did.
You did. So you girls have been playing a while, haven't you? Talk about, you know, one thing that's very important in team sports, male and female, is chemistry. Team chemistry. Did you know that if your team has really good chemistry and you really get along well with one another, you can make yourself better as an individual and better as a team? Or you flip that coin, if the team chemistry is not good, and I understand you ladies are temperamental, okay? And so with that in mind, I mean, y'all are high strung and great when it's going good, but when it's bad, maybe not so good. But that's human nature. Now, having said all of that, Jules, the little answer you got to give is talk about the team chemistry for your team.
I feel like we've been playing with each other for so long that our team chemistry is just automatically there, and like we're all friends with each other on and off the court. So I mean, like, we all mesh well. So I think our team chemistry is there.
Well, I tell you what, if team record has anything to do with it, it sure is. It shows that you girls are not only talented, but play together well, which makes for a better atmosphere too. Sarah, going into this year, is there, I know guys are bad about this, and I'm a guy, and I was bad about it when I played ball growing up. Is there a favorite team or one you enjoy looking forward to play against more than another, maybe a key rival? Who would that be?
I feel like in our area it's Helena and Pelham, and we've played both of them and won against both of them so far, and so it was like really exciting. That was a good
Now y'all are
challenge.
fairly close in proximity of one
Mhm.
another, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
do you know personally any of the girls from those
I
schools?
do from travel volleyball.
Oh,
a few.
yeah, yeah.
So
And
that's exciting.
Her saying that, Sarah's saying that, Jules, do you play travel too?
Yes, sir.
Really? Okay. Now, and maybe I should have asked Sarah you this too, is volleyball the only sport you participate in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How about you, Jules?
Yes, sir.
And so the thing that I'm finding out from young ladies as I have them on my show from year to year, there are a lot of you that you don't play multiple sports inside the school, but you play on travel teams. And is it 8-10 months a year? It's a lot, I know.
It's pretty much like year round, because like after school volleyball, it's like go straight into club, and then after club, it's like sand volleyball if you want to play beach or something.
Yeah.
And then it goes right back into school.
Right.
So,
Well, now let me ask you this: do you girls, and Coach and I, she alluded on it a little bit. You girls are a lot better physical shape nowadays than they ever have been, and I mean that as a compliment. And is that because if you're not playing club ball, then you're participating in other sports that keep you active, right, through the year? All right. Well, now we're already established the fact that you are pretty good athletes and that your team is going to be in the playoffs. Now, first of all, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. One is very simple. Sarah, what's your favorite subject in school?
English.
English?
Yes, sir.
Do you hope to be an English teacher or volleyball coach one day?
Maybe, if that's
Maybe,
fair.
maybe one sometime. Okay. Jules, how about you?
I really like math.
Math. You hope to be a teacher one day?
I could honestly see myself doing that, and it kind of like scares me because I want to be more.
I feel a but coming.
I
And
just
what do you
like
mean?
I want to do everything, but I can't, and so it's like really hard to choose one thing to
Well,
do.
here's the thing too. In life, this is the wonderful thing about living in America. We can do a lot of things and then concentrate on one somewhere down the road. Now, one thing I don't get to ask this question much, but I'll ask both you girls, and you tell me why and how and to what degree. Are you a shopaholic?
I am, definitely.
You are. You're a natural woman.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're not a shopaholic, something's wrong with you, right?
For sure.
Yeah, well, you're a woman after my wife's own heart. How about you, Jules?
I mean, I like being outside more. I like hiking and stuff. But
Really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'd see you on these ESPN commercials going up a mountain, right?
I guess so.
Really? All right, well, one other question I like to ask young athletes, and you may have answered it, and if you have, come up with a number 2, okay? So we'll start with Sarah. Sarah, if there was something about you that I didn't know, a hobby or a superstition, what would it be? Nobody knows, but you're going to tell Snappy. Like you like to sing in the shower, the shower goes, and you're a 10, but when the shower goes off, you're a 1.
Oh, definitely. That could be one. I definitely cannot sing at all.
Oh, you can't?
No, not at all.
So you definitely ought to go take singing lessons on
Oh,
the
yeah.
side, right? No.
I wanted to be a
Well,
singer.
other than that, I put that one in your mouth. So other than that, I mean, if you had something, what would it be that you'd want to tell me? You write poetry?
I do not.
You don't?
Don't
Okay.
even know.
Do you ever go out and catch butterflies?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now that's odd.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we've established that about you. Here's the odd one. Okay. Now Jules, how about you?
I'm really into art, but it's hard to like space out my time to do everything. So I just do it on the side.
Now art, you talking like painting?
Yes, sir. I love painting, and I mean, I'm not very good at like drawing, but I think I'm pretty decent at painting.
Yeah. Well, you know, we all got to have our little things that take the pressure off. You know what I'm saying? Well, to this point in your young lives, ladies, Sarah, we'll start with you. Who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
I would say either my parents, like obviously, or my grandparents. They've been at every game that I've played since 8th grade. So they've been at every single game and tournament and everything.
Well, I tell you what, that's what we call support, and most parents are really good at that. And so, hooray for the parents. And okay, how about you, Jules?
Same, pretty much. They're really like supportive of me, my parents, and they just like want me to be the best me that I can be. So.
Well, I tell you what,
makes any
girls,
sense.
the record indicates 30-6. You played a pretty good team, and that's rated above you and knocked them off. So it tells me y'all are peaking at the right time. So here's the one thing we want to do. We want to go out and win a state championship, okay? And you know why? First one would be the first one for the coach. Secondly, we'd all come back up here and celebrate together if y'all do that, okay? I'd let them bring the trophy,
Yes.
okay? So listen, awfully nice to meet you girls. You've had a great season thus far. I wish you all the luck in the playoffs. And with you being a senior, right?
Yes, sir.
I wish you good luck in
Thank you so
college.
much.
We'll see you next year regardless, okay? And so, folks, we've had a great night, 2 outstanding coaches, outstanding athletes as always, and we're always wanting to recognize them here on the show. But you know what the Snapper always says, so the next time I see you, bicycle.